Hi, I'm Tyne for TK24 Sports Now. On today's show, we're looking at Thomas Tuchel and our Chelsea in danger of just basically imploding while he is in manager. Well, we're going to get into that right now, okay? Before you guys switch off or do anything crazy like that, let me just break this down. We are looking at a manager with a record CV like this. He is a Champions League winner, a German Cup winner, 2 times French Liga winner, a 1-time French Cup winner, a 1-time Super Cup winner, and a 2 times French Super Cup winner. Also a top 4 finish. You don't get any trophies for that, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. Since Thomas Tuchel came in from last season and rescued Chelsea's season while Frank Lampard was in charge, they've done the unthinkable. He got Chelsea to a Champions League final, beat Manchester City, of course, and Chelsea won their second big Champions League trophy. But as the season progresses now, they are 10 points, while sitting in second, 10 points behind Manchester City. It looks like City are going to run away with the league yet again. What's new? But we're looking at Chelsea, and we're looking at Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel. What is the difference from last season to this season? Even though they have signed Lukaku, which is a subject for another day, and that interview is quite explosive, but it's not as big as what people are making it out to be. But I'm just looking at Tuchel. What is he bringing Chelsea? Does he actually have the squad? Has he been backed the way he should have been backed to bring in more players this season coming in? And when you think about the transfers, it wasn't that many that they've really done. They recognised a weakness in their team, which is, of course, the forward line. They brought in Timo Werner the season before, and he didn't really pull up any trees, even though he did score some important goals. But with Thomas Tuchel, this man is actually a good manager. And for me to sit here and question and think, are Chelsea in danger of imploding while Thomas Tuchel is the current manager? They're through to the knockout round of the Champions League. Of course, they played Lille. They're in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, going up against Spurs. And of course, the FA Cup hasn't kicked off yet, but they're still in contention of winning 4 trophies. That is, of course, they get to the finish line and they can pull back 10 points away from Manchester City. But the big question is, what can Thomas Tuchel do? I mean, what does he have to do this year to save his job? And it's crazy to say this, but I think he would have to go and win the Champions League again, because I don't think they're going to catch Manchester City. They're then going to have to beat Spurs in the Carabao Cup in the semi-finals over the 2 legs, and then get to the final where they could place Arsenal or Liverpool. And going by today's judgment, where they played Liverpool and they drew 2-2 from being 2-0 down, you can turn around and say, I don't think Chelsea are imploding. I just don't think their squad is good enough as of yet to compete week in, week out. I think they still need to have some different reinforcements. They got contract issues, again, with Antonio Rudiger, who's not looking to re-sign at this moment in time because the wages that he wants and what the wages that they've been offering is just not good enough. But is that down to Tuchel, or is that just down to the hierarchy? But then again, if it's down to Tuchel, I mean, I guess he could go to the hierarchy and say, listen, I really need this guy. But with the 3 transfers coming out, we can actually add to this. Thiago Silva, do we need to keep him for another year? He's like 36, 37. Is he? Yeah, I think he's as old as that. So why would he need to tie him down to next season? But Thomas Tuchel is a man who goes places and wins. And the fact that before he came to Chelsea, of course, he was fired by PSG, but everyone gets fired by PSG, so that's nothing, to sit back and go, oh, well, he's a failure. He's a 2 times Liga winner, but then again, with the PSG squad, he should really sweep that league year in, year out. But Pochettino didn't last year, did he? So then again, what does that say? Thomas Tuchel, I think, is actually a good manager. And still to be in 4 competitions this season and 10 points behind City, it's a bit indifference, isn't it? Because you look at Chelsea and you think, okay, you should be a bit higher because Chelsea is a good football club. They're running a different way to any other club on this planet, successful or not. But you have to admire what Chelsea's ethos is, which is just win. There's nothing else to it. They've got an owner who's just aggressive. They've got a new sporting director who's just great. They've got Petr Cech, who's gone back from, to Chelsea after leaving Arsenal. Well, good riddance for that one. But in all seriousness, I look at Tuchel's CV again, and I'm just glancing just here. But the one thing that stood out for me last year was the fact that he was able to take that Chelsea team and get to a final of the Champions League, which no one gave him hope of doing that anyway. And then going up to beat City with that team. Then to add Lukaku in this season, which I thought was a good bit of business, maybe they should have went out a bit more and gone after Haaland, but maybe they looked at the situation with the compensation that would have had to be paid to Mino Raiola. And then with Haaland's wages on top, plus 150 odd million that Dortmund may have wanted at the time. Maybe that's why they went after Lukaku, because they thought, you know what, we can get this guy 90 million, bit of a sign-on bonus, a small commission to the agent, and Lukaku's got unfinished business. As Lukaku's always said, he wanted to come back to Chelsea because he had unfinished business. So what has happened, though, with their big 90 odd million signing player, well, I believe that's their record signing as well, what is the fallout? Why did Lukaku come out and say what he said, which I don't think was bad? It just reminds me a little bit of the Arteta and the Aubameyang sort of situation, but I think this one's different. Whereas Lukaku just wants to play, but the system and the way that Chelsea play just doesn't suit Lukaku, but Lukaku's going to have to adapt. It's not Chelsea or Tuchel that has to adapt for Lukaku. It's Lukaku needs to adapt for the way Tuchel needs to play. And I say it's a bit more of a 70-30 in this. More 70% that Lukaku has to adapt and 30% for Tuchel to adapt to Lukaku. Yes, to get the best out of Lukaku, I guess Tuchel does look at his tactics a little bit and say, okay, what is Romelu's strength? What can he bring? And not what can he bring, what does he bring? And what does my formational tactics actually bring for Lukaku? So maybe let's not go with the 70-30. Let's now bring it up to a 50-50. They're both going to more than likely meet tomorrow, which is on Monday, depending on what day you're watching this, and thrash it out. Let's dig into it. Let's dig into Lukaku's comments. That's what they're going to be talking about in more detail. Let's look at the context as to what he said. And then look at the context of what Tuchel may have thought about it as well. But when I'm talking about Chelsea being in danger, there's so much things going on with Chelsea right now. You just have to think, with this manager, does he actually have the squad to do what he may need to do? And you're going to turn around and say, well, he's the manager, you get given these tools and you got to deal with it. But it's not as easy as that. It really isn't. As much as he's the man who may turn around and say, look, I need a striker, I need a midfielder, I need a defender, I need a left back, I need a right back. Thomas Tuchel has a job to do. Remember, so sorry. He's only been in it as a full season now. He was in half a season last year. He's only had, a real transfer window in summer. So he's only had one transfer window. I think we're going to see the best of Thomas Tuchel in the next 2 to 3 years if he lasts that long, because again, he's at Chelsea Football Club. But I would like to see what this manager could really and truly do with his Chelsea team. With the 3 transfers coming up now, Chelsea should make the Champions League again, so that gives them a good foundation to go after a number of players that will be free. I'm surprised that they haven't put their hat in the ring for a Lukaku. I'm surprised they haven't put their hat in the ring for a Haaland, even though they do have Lukaku. Maybe a Dybala, but then that transfer looks like he's going to be staying with Juventus. But there are a number of players out there that Chelsea can go after who are on a free transfer. I'm surprised they're not looking at a possibility again going after a Pogba. But then most of these players I mentioned are looking at going to a Real Madrid, and Real Madrid are going to have to pull the trigger somehow to get these deals over the line, but they can't get every single one. So a club like Chelsea are in a great position, but then they're restructuring their wage budget as well. So it could be very, very hard for Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea. So are Chelsea in danger of slipping out of the top 4? Potentially. The teams around them are getting stronger, getting better, getting fitter. They're putting the ball in the back of the net. But you have to then, when I was thinking about this, doing this show today, watching the Chelsea-Liverpool game, and of course Chelsea being 2-0 down very quickly, and then pulled it back to 2-2, and they could have won the game as well, and Liverpool could have won the game, so I think a draw at the end of the day was a fair result. But I'm thinking Chelsea with Tuchel have something, but we're just not seeing it as of yet, and I think the grace of winning the Champions League last year was a testament to say, okay, maybe they won it on just adrenaline and love and fight and honour and all that crap. This year we're seeing something different. To be 10 points away from City at halfway through the season, it could just get bigger, a bigger gap as the season goes on. But I think Thomas Tuchel, it's going to sound crazy what I'm about to say. If Tuchel does not get past Spurs in the Carabao Cup, if he struggles against Lille, forget about the FA Cup, he could be gone by January, end of January. And that's crazy to say. Because Chelsea suffer no fall. Roman Abramovich suffers no fall. You can win a trophy last season, but if you're just not progressing, you could be gone before you know it. So when we sit back and we look at Thomas Tuchel as a Champions League winner, a German Cup winner, 2 times Liga winner, French Cup winner, Super Cup winner with Chelsea, and then a 2 times French Super Cup winner, he can still get the sack from Chelsea if he does not get through to the final of the Carabao Cup. He struggles against Lille, and forget the FA Cup. We get to the third, fourth. It's in the third round. We get to the fourth, fifth. It doesn't make a difference. If the points difference between themselves and City get to like 15, 18, 20 points by Feb, Thomas Tuchel could be gone. He could be gone. And is that fair? So Chelsea fans, let me know what your thoughts are. And then again, if you made it this far into the show, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn that notification on. Sometimes I like to say it, sometimes I don't, but I've got to be consistent. I need more subscribers. I need people like yourself who's watching the show to keep tuning in where we give you shows like this. So just remember what I said. And if you agree with me, just leave your comments below. If you don't, cool. Still leave your comments below and give me what your thoughts are. Would Thomas Tuchel last up until January if results do not pick up? If they can't find a resolution with Lukaku? Should Thomas Tuchel stay or should he go? And should he go, what manager would you Chelsea fans like to be brought in as a next step going forward? Thank you for your time. I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports.